Storm Station Forecast with meteorologist Malcolm Byron.
So we've got some cloud cover, and it's a little thicker than anticipated. I don't think anybody's complaining about that because that's only going to do us some favors. Help tape the edge off the heat, maybe. The humidity, though, is still sky high. Dew points are sitting in the upper 70s to low 80s across the region, and the entirety of southeast Louisiana is cluttered up with this yellow color right here, indicating extreme humidity, and feels like temperatures now are starting to push 110 degrees in a few spots, and I think by peak heating we will be there at least for a couple hours this afternoon, even if air temperatures are down by a few degrees. And that's why we've got a heat advisory at the very least for some areas of Louisiana and in the capital region, an extreme heat warning, because there is a chance for those heat index values to reach 113 degrees. But notice by late afternoon, those feels like values are coming down just a little bit, and even into the 90s by evening as rain-cooled air starts to overspread the region and we naturally cool off at night. Tropical moisture off to the east starting to ease its way into southeast Louisiana. Now, there is still a little bit of dry air on the edges of this tropical moisture, and if any thunderstorms can ingest some of that dry air, rain cools off the air even more within that thunderstorm because, well, dry air likes to evaporate some of that moisture, and then that air descends, and once it hits the ground, it spreads out. And that can produce some gusty winds sometimes. So we do expect some gusty afternoon storms today with any of the storms that do fire. And we're only expecting isolated action by afternoon and evening. Not everybody dealing with it, but the hope is that it would send out some rain-cooled air. And I think by 4 or 5 o'clock we'll be dealing with that. We'll favor areas along and east of Baton Rouge for seeing some of those isolated storms. And then with the loss of daytime warming, they should generally wrap up. But even by 9 or 10 o'clock, there still might be some action on the radar. Tonight, a partly to mostly cloudy sky. And then, well, we recharge our atmosphere tomorrow, and with even more tropical moisture in place, I think the majority of us will collect a downpour at some point. But tomorrow will not be a washout. I really do want to emphasize that. Even Friday, let's take Futurecast into Friday, and you'll see some dry periods. There's the morning, but, well, there'll be a fair amount of action on the radar, so you will want the rain gear on hand. 1 to 3 inches on average across the region, but I think to the north, maybe a little bit less, maybe even under 1 inch in a few neighborhoods more to the south, closer to that tropical moisture along the coast. This may find itself useful in the coming days. Storm Station mobile app's got live radar on the go. Just click that Maps tab in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. And once you are there, make sure you check the bottom right corner again. Check the setting of the live radar. If it says past, that's actual data. If it says future, that's the model forecast. So just something to check there. Let's get a check of your Storm Station 7-day forecast, and you can see, well, 97 degrees today. That's the forecast high. We'll see what the cloud cover decides to do. Rain, of course, arriving late. A little cooler tomorrow and Friday with that elevated rain chance. And then over the weekend, we'll come down on our rain chances. Temperatures start to increase in response. Back into the middle 90s early next week.
All right, Malcolm, thanks so much. And thanks for watching WBRZ News 2 at noon. It is time now to honor America with the Daily Pledge.